you reached out about this Red Bull event and you said, hey man, I'm one of the pilots for local Tampa. What is it called? Like a flying machine? What are these things
They
called?
call it the Red Bull Flugtag. It was invented in Austria in 1992, and Red Bull's been running it for 35 years about. And they pick a new city every year, and this year they happen to pick Tampa. And so we applied, and I thought, you know what? I have enough on my plate, but in life, if you're not doing things just for the fun of it, then
Yeah.
you're not living life to the fullest. So I figured, let's throw another thing on my plate right now.
And you messaged me, you're like, hey man, could you promote our team, right? Because it's for charity at the end of the day.
Yes, all of our team proceeds. What makes us different than the other teams is we are providing all proceeds to early childhood education for 0 to 6-year-old children via Tembo education.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And you said, yeah, post it, promote it. And I said, just come on the pod. Like, let's just talk about it. This is such a cool event. Our studio is right up the road from the river.
Yeah, and you had Red Bull waiting for us. So cheers.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thank you for doing the show.
Nice meeting you in person.
Good to meet you too. So you're the pilot of this Flugtag. What is it called?
Flugtag, yeah.
Flugtag.
So basically, Red Bull is notorious for just doing things for fun.
Yeah.
And it's wild and crazy. Might not necessarily always have something to do with an energy drink, but you have to create a man-powered or woman-powered aircraft from scratch. It can't be prefabricated. It can't be motor powered. It can't be electric. You have to build this craft and you have to fly off of a 105-foot pier that's raised 22 feet in the air over the water. You run, sprint, have your team push you over the edge and wish and hope that you fly as far as you can.
Some of these videos are so funny because these guys will push one out, some crazy design, and it'll literally like fall off the cliff and not even fly 1 foot.
They said about 90% of them will just fly right down to the water immediately off takeoff. So
it's so when you say nothing prefabricated, like literally, correct? Like what materials are you using?
You can't show up with a glider that's already formed, right? Some people might show up with a hang glider and they're ready to go. So the first aspect of it is you got to pick a theme so you know how to design it. And we picked the coconut pirates and we're inspired by Disney's movie Moana. If you remember the Kakamora, the coconut pirates, and we thought that was fun. Everybody loves Moana, right? And we started designing an aircraft that would resemble some sort of theme around coconut pirates and pirates being Tampa Bay and coconuts, tropical, sunny weather. And we ultimately ended up picking the coconut cruiser as our aircraft. And we went through multiple iterations, similar to entrepreneurs here in Tampa Bay and the development process, the podcast, right? You have to go through multiple iterations till you find what works for you. So we started with some PVC pipe. We worked with some wood materials, metal materials, until we settled on foam because foam is durable. It's like an insulation foam, but it's also very light. And they give you very specific constraints that you have to work within. So the wingspan can only be 18 feet. The weight of the entire pilot plus base plus aircraft, 150 pounds for me, 400 pounds total with everything combined. So
wow.
Height, length, everything's constrained.
And nothing prefabricated, meaning do you have to build it on site that day?
You can use materials that were prefabricated, but they can't have been previously put together.
So you show up with like a package of sorts and you kind of put the remaining pieces in place and get the thing prepared to fly.
They want your craft 90% formed by the day before the flight. We load it into a hangar at the Tampa Bay Convention Center, and then we get to put on some final touches, and then the next morning we have to fly.
So can we watch some videos of this event? Because I've seen some videos on social, people have probably seen some stuff on YouTube. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I think they did it a few years ago in Switzerland. Like in my head, I'm imagining maybe Geneva.
Yes.
Was it?
They pick, and there, David, there's a video on there of some of the eight best or most creative designs if you scroll down on the homepage.
Right. So it's not all about, hey, how far can you fly? Like there's a creative aspect, how they judge these
Great
things.
question.
What the?
You could probably put it in full screen.
Oh
if you
my
want.
God.
What? Has no wings. Goes right in the
It has
water.
no wings. Like what was that strategy?
So the world record holder is from 2013, and they went 258 feet.
Holy shit.
Now the rules have changed every year, and they said do not follow any of the European versions. The US has very strict rules. So some of these videos that you see, the rules have changed since then. So
Wow.
we looked at some of the top designs. Look at this one. So this is one of the ones we received inspiration from, and the world record holder. And we found a kind of compilation of two. If you scroll to like the 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Air pug is hilarious. For those just listening, it's a
Right there.
literal like huge stuffed bulldog with no wings, and the guy's riding on top of it.
So
Goes
this
off
is
the cliff.
This is another one we garnered inspiration from, and they have two massive wheels on the side. A great design though. But you'll notice if you pay very close attention to the top, you'll see a little slingshot catapult action, which is not allowed anymore either.
A slingshot. Let me see this thing. Ah.
And look at this baby glide.
Holy shit.
And if you zoom in on the tail,
Wow.
you'll see there's a little gear. See that gear on the back of the tail that's in the middle?
Uh-huh.
That wheel she was controlling with some wire. So it allows the flaps on the vertical stabilizer to move up and down, which helps, but it's pretty difficult to build that in without using power and electronics. And so you could see their wingspan is much larger as well compared to the constraints we have now.
Yeah, they went super technical with it. Like they built basically an airplane. Whereas those guys with the big pug, like what are they doing? They're just going for style points essentially.
Great question. So they judge you in 3 different categories. One is distance. The other is creativity on the design and costumes. And the third is your dance. So there's a 30-second dance before you even launch off the flight deck.
And they're all valued in equal proportions, right?
A third, a third, and a third.
A third, a third, a third. So you can nail the dance, and it's like a kind of a big part of receiving an overall high score.
And there's judges there too. And they said some of the judges will be undercover. So you have to, the team goes there early, and we have to be in costume early morning. And they're going to have the general public. By the way, this is open to the general public. They can come in the hangar early before the flight, and they can go vet some of the aircraft designs. And there's going to be some media there. There's going to be the judges undercover. And so you always have to be on, ready to go.
What are the awards? Does Red Bull write a check, or what do you get?
First place is a $25,000 value. It's tickets to the Grand Prix. Second place is you get a day in the life with a Red Bull athlete. And then third place, I think you get a indoor skydiving ticket.
Oh, wow. Hey guys, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, click right here. Make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. Thank you for watching.